My name is Dominic Facio. I use he, him, or they, them pronouns. I'm located in Fergus Falls, Minnesota, of a population of about 14,000. I am the producer and director and manager for the Catwalk Party, which was the first ever drag show in Fergus Falls, Minnesota.
I guess the reason I signed on for the Catwalk Party was to bring a little bit of the gay community here because I don't get to experience it often.
And I remember hearing about it and being like, no way, like my hometown's doing a drag show in Fergus Falls. And I was like, no way, I gotta check this out, slash, wanted to be a part of it.
I originally joined at our first catwalk party with the intent that I was just going to help out the one time. I wanted to make sure that kings were represented as well as queens.
When the first drag show happened, I was asked, and then I was closely found out I was pregnant, which I do kind of wish as a king I did the drag show pregnant, because that would have been amazing. With a big belly. I wish I would have done it. But I was so happy to start it after I felt more comfortable when my child got older, because I wanted her to, even though she was in a small town and she's going to be raised as a small town, I want her to see that she can be comfortable in her own skin.
The Catwalk Party is really alternative performing arts that tends to center on drag or drag culture. So the Catwalk Party was born out of the Year of Play, which was a Springboard for the Arts initiative, which was micro funding of $500 to inspire play within the community. And since I have a history of creating niche events for rural Minnesota, it was suggested to me that I create a drag show, and so I did. It started with 5 performers, 4 of them being local. 4 of the performers that started in the show have been in every show since, of which there's been 6. And then there's also a new LGBTQIA2 plus youth group in town that has, they had their first Pride events last year, and so those performers were in that show as well.
I'm originally from Fergus Falls, lived here all my life. Grew up where the early 2000s to the late 2000s were my middle school, high school years. It was kind of, as a queer person, an awkward shifting time to grow up because it was starting to become more accepted, but at the same time, in these rural spaces, it wasn't even close to being there yet.
And I remember being in high school going to this LGBT club and people being like, why would you go to that? Like, that's, no, like, oh my gosh, you're the gay kid in high school, stuff like that. And I remember back then thinking, oh my God, like this town is never going to get with the program. They're never going to support any of this stuff. It's just going to be a small town mindset. And that was really hard because when I was in high school, I was very expressive. I had ginormous hair, the tightest skinny jeans you will probably ever see in your life. Very that. And so I kind of dealt with a lot of the negativity head on. And that definitely made me think, oh, this town is so behind the times. They're not going to get with it. I need to get out of here.
And thanks to Dom, he really did a good job at knowing that that was needed here. And it really was. I mean, when I moved in the town, I came with pink hair. Oh, it was, scandalous when I'd go to the Walmart. But now, when I go around, no matter what, people are like, hey, you're Ted Hundy. The people you wouldn't, guess would be that way. And the community has just been so loving.
If you were to see a Catwalk Party, each performer has their own vibe of what they go for, and they have the freedom to do whatever they'd like. The Catwalk Party encapsulates humor, community, queer culture, being an ally, celebration, environment, and color.
Very much so, of just supporting this culture and just trying to show, rural residents that you can do whatever you want to do and you can be whatever you want to be and go on stage and have fun.
Community has just been so loving and so passionate and so supportive about it, and it really gives um, my heart joy, because I makes me feel like in these small areas, people like my child are going to be able to grow up, and it doesn't matter who she is, if she is just an ally or if she's part of, the queer community, that she's going to have a home here.
Some people that have come to the shows or have seen my other works have mentioned like, oh, you should go to LA or you should be in the, a metro area. And I appreciate the compliment, but it's also, the truth is that rural America needs what I'm doing. And this is home, and I can't change where home is. I tried when I left high school, but every time I came back to Fergus Falls, I just realized that this is home, and there's no changing that.